What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today, it's gonna be our first ever story time talking about the preludes to the 7th World Archdemon War. And I know that's a mouthful, but basically we're talking about the background of Epic 7. How was the world created? Who are the heirs in Epic 7? So if you like the video and want to see more story times, make sure you like, subscribe, and you're on the Discord. And for this one in particular, comment down below which one you want to see next, and also, since a lot of these is based on my memory, comment if I missed anything, which I'm sure I probably will. So make sure you comment if you think I missed anything that other people should know about the background of Epic 7. And also, if you want to help support the channel financially, consider becoming a member. But alright, let's actually start getting into this story time. So the way it will roll out is, first I will be talking to you guys about how Orbis came to be, using some of the E7 content that was released. And then the second portion will be talking about the heirs, how they were created, and the previous worlds leading up to the 7th world. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing we'll talk about is how the world of Epic 7 was created. How did Ross have to end up fighting the Archdemon over and over again? What is happening in this world? How do we even end up in that situation? So I will be using the official Epic 7 world introduction that you guys should definitely go watch. It's pretty new. It's pretty awesome. So make sure you go watch that. But I will be showing it and talking over it to kind of show you guys some more background about it. The biggest thing you need to know is that right now, the world where Epic 7 storyline takes place does not exist yet. Right now, there's just a bunch of gods, celestial beings, fighting against one each other in an endless war where there seems to be no end, and gods are killing each other and attacking each other, and it's just a disaster. So let's see what actually happens in that and how we actually get to the world of Orbis. So I'll start playing it because they do a really good job. So Orbis is actually a god fighting in this world that died, and Dice, her husband, or also, as you guys know, the god of the world of Orbis, who everyone admires in Orbis, she creates the world of Epic 7 on Orbis's body, and they called it after the god that died, Orbis, the god of nature. So Dice creates this world with humans and everything, and she kind of is there. But the gods are like, alright Dice, you've been AFK too long. We're fighting a war and you're here playing Sim Simulator. So we need you back in the war. And Dice says, no, I want to be here in the body of my dead husband. So Elroyce comes in and sends the Archdemon to destroy the world so Dice can go back to the world. She's like, you're wasting your time here. So Elroyce sends the Archdemon to attempt to destroy the world of Orbis. Dice, though, wants to defend this world, so she creates the heir of the covenant, which is Ross. So this is Ross right here. So that's why he's the heir of the covenant. Ross was made by the goddess to protect the world from the Archdemon. And him, along with other guardians, as mentioned, are always fighting this Archdemon over and over again because Dice does not want to leave Orbis, and Elroyce just will keep sending the Archdemon until the world is destroyed so Dice can go back. So Elroyce will keep going over and over. Elroyce is another god, of course. And this fight just goes on over and over and over again. The world of Orbis almost falls all the time. And one time it does, but then Dice goes, nah, let's click the reset button, and another world is created. And this happens several times, which is why we're in the 7th world, and it's called Epic 7. Because Dice will restart the world. And every time, Ross will keep fighting the Archdemon. So it's this endless cycle, this endless battle happening in Orbis at the same time that a massive war is happening in the realm of the gods. So a lot of fighting in the world of Epic 7. But the biggest key takeaways from that is that there's a massive war between all the gods. Orbis right now is the body of a dead god, which is where the storyline takes place, which is Orbis. Elroyce is sending the Archdemon there, which is another god, to try to stop. And this is an endless cycle because as long as Dice is in the world, Elroyce will continue to send the Archdemon to try to destroy it. So that is all you need to know as far as this portion for the introduction. But now let's go on to see what happens to the heirs. What happened to all those other 7 worlds? Why are we in the 7th world? Who are some of the heroes? We'll find that out in the next section. Now, let's take a hierarchical view at the world of Epic 7 to better understand the heirs and the guardians, and then see what happens with the different worlds before. How do we get to the 7th world? But that'll be later. So as far as the hierarchy, at the very top, we have the primordial gods that were mentioned. Only one, haven't really played a big storyline, but there has been one primordial god that we know of. Below them are the celestial gods, and these gods are extremely powerful. In this realm, we have Orbis, Dice, Ilrois, and Rekos, who we also know of from episode 2. So all of these are gods, extremely powerful. These gods can create their own worlds, can create other beings to fight for them. So very powerful. By all sides of the world, they are gods and goddesses in terms of that word. So what is below them? So below them, they have essentially subordinates or people who are just lower power than the gods. So for Ilrois, that would be the archdemon. So the archdemon is sent by Ilrois, so we can assume that's a subordinate of Ilrois. On the other hand, for Dice, we have the guardians and the spirit lords, who again, a completely different video for another story time, but they are essentially subordinates to Dice. And we know this is the case because in the world of Rekos, they actually kill all the spirit lords and there's no more elements. So we know that the spirit lords are subordinates of Dice in the world of Orbis. So now we know each of the subordinates, and we see how Dice has the guardians and the spirit lords to protect the world of Orbis, particularly the guardians. They are there to just protect the world of Orbis, to watch over the world, make sure that the archdemon does not destroy her, or any other god that wants to partake in it. Of course, the archdemon is trying to destroy the world, so Dice can go back. So now this leads us to the heirs. What role do they play in the storyline? So the heirs, to give you guys a better understanding, first let's start with Ross, because he is the heir of the covenant, and he is different from all of them. Ross was directly created by the goddess Dice and given her powers, almost like an extension of herself. He is the only heir that has a direct connection to Dice, to the power of Dice, and he can actually harness the power of the goddess to fight against the archdemon, which is why he is the only one that can successfully take down the archdemon, since we know the archdemon is taking power from Ilrois. So again, that's why he has to be so powerful. The other thing that you guys need to know, since he's attached to the goddess gives him a lot of her memories and a lot of like her powers. But what about the other heirs that are there to protect the world of Orbis? How do they come into play? Because they were not directly created by Dice like the way that Ross was created. They're not giving the goddess's power directly, like a vessel, right? So what are they? So Ross is kind of like a vessel for the goddess. The other heirs are regular creations made by Dice, just regular humans in our sense of the world, just regular humans in the world of Orbis that were chosen by the guardians to protect the world of Orbis. These heirs are normal humans in the world, but they were chosen by the guardians. As we'll see later, this is a very big thing that they are chosen by the guardians, because once they die, they are gone. There is no reviving them. Ross can be revived since he's essentially a vessel for the goddess, but the other heirs cannot be revived. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in how we got to the 7th world. But essentially, they must be chosen by the respective guardians and our regular humans. So heir of the covenant, created by the goddess, regular humans, chosen by the guardians, and then you know the hierarchy going all the way up. So you kind of know who is who in this massive, super war-torn world. Now, let's talk about how we got to the 7th world. What happened to the heirs in the other worlds? What happened to the humans? Is Dice's power to reset the world of Orbis almighty and all-powerful? So to first understand that, we have to look at some of the artifacts and the storylines that were released. So in a lot of these artifacts, we actually see stories of untold heroes and untold powers. We see people that we've never seen before in the world of Epic 7, Sigurd's Scythe, and one particularly, Straight Gauntlet, that we actually get to see a lot more. Who did this weapon belong to? This weapon belonged to a 5th world heir, Aki. So what happened to Aki? What happened to all these other untold heroes in the world of Epic 7? Why are their memories just a distant thing in the past? So we got this storyline when we see how Vildred got corrupted, and we get to understand more about the world of Epic 7. So Aki is an heir in the 5th world, and he's there to protect the world of Epic, of Orbis. In the war that he's fighting right now against the Archdemon, he sacrifices his life to try and stop the Archdemon. But in the process, it's not enough. And Vildred and Ross are all killed, and the people of Orbis are all destroyed. Everything is destroyed by the Archdemon. And DJ snaps her fingers and resets the world. And that's how we get to the 6th world. In the 6th world, we come in. Ross is back. He's the heir of the Covenant. He can easily be revived. The goddess, he's essentially part of the goddess. So it's hard. It's very hard to actually kill Ross, just like it's hard to kill the Archdemon. We also see the acolytes are still there, since they are kind of lackeys to the Archdemon. And we see Vildred and all the people of Orbis. All the people of Orbis have their memories reset. They have no idea what happened. They have no idea that they just fought the Archdemon. They don't remember anything. So DJ is able to essentially go back in time. Instead of a reset button, think more of it of like a time rewind. However, in this new world, Aki is not there. Aki is gone. This tells us that heirs who die in previous worlds are gone forever, as well as their memories. There is no one there to remember them except for Ross, who is tied with the goddess, the Archdemon and the acolytes, who are away from the goddess's power, and that's pretty much it. No one else remembers what happened in the world, since DJ just resets everything. So these memories are completely forgotten. Aki is long forgotten. He does not exist. It is very sad to think all the heirs, and thankfully Ross is not human, so he does not feel the same sadness that he would now by seeing his friends and the people, his comrades, die and be gone forever with no semblance of what happened in the past. But that's only one of the things, one of the negatives of DJ resetting the world. One thing we find out is that DJ's power to reset the world is not all powerful. It's not something that can just be done over and over again. We see that every time that DJ resets the world, we see that parts of the world are not fixed properly, and there are cracks in the world, and these are what the cracks in the world are. These are what the unknown come from. It is places where the goddess's power does not reach. It is places in Orbis where DJ has lost control. DJ no longer controls this area, has no power over them, cannot reset them, and as she resets the world, more and more of these cracks open. As we find out later with Strasse, who is actually able to open cracks in the world, it is essentially meaning that other gods and other beings can come into Orbis and are polluting the world of Orbis. It's kind of like the decaying of the world of Orbis. So every time the goddess resets, not only the previous heirs who die forever, the world is becoming worse and worse. And in the 6th world, as we find out, Well of Light, an heir of the 6th world, was also killed. Well of Light was also killed in this time. Well of Light did not survive. She was an heir of the 6th world who sacrificed herself in the Archdemon War, and when DJ reset the world, she was no longer. And as we mentioned, top level down, Spirit Lords remembered the people, and since she was also one of the people chosen by Destina, Destina eventually does take her form and take her body. Again, extremely sad to know that once an heir dies, they are gone forever. There is no do-overs for them, but there are do-overs for Ross, and that every time the world gets reset, it is getting worse. And that leads us to the end of the introduction. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time, and let me know in the comments if I missed anything or forgot anything, and most importantly, what you want to see next time, and if you like the format of this. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. and I will see y'all next time. Peace.